May the 5th, and before long it'll be June the 5th. Before long it'll be July the 4th, and boy, you start heading downhill towards football in Pike County.
Cinco de Mayo, 5th day of May.
Hopefully everybody's doing well this morning, and we got Rice in here dressed in his orange jerseys with orange helmets and
I wonder where I got
white
this.
trousers.
I wonder where I got this shirt.
And white trousers.
Well, I can see myself on the monitor. Y'all just have to live with me like that.
Of course, it is. We're heading down with Wednesday being Hump Day. We're heading downhill toward the weekend.
At noon, we don't start to go downhill until noon.
And we got Forrest Lee.
I know Forrest
You
Latta.
know Forrest Latta, an attorney in Mobile.
We actually were at Boy State together in the summer of 1976 at Troy University. I think he was there at Boy State.
You were the Boy State representative for Goshen High
I
School?
was in the Outstanding City number 5, but I was named the Outstanding Citizen of the Outstanding City.
And of course,
1976.
What's going on in our community?
Well, let me tell you what I did yesterday. I got to drive the tractor front end loader at the Brundage Country Club. I had to scoop up sand and carry it to each hole, and then Calvin, our golf superintendent of the course, he spread the sand out on the greens and all, and getting them ready for a big tournament we have, May the 22nd and 23rd. It's a 2-man scramble. They're going to have a Calcutta Saturday night. There'll be a big dinner Saturday night. So if you'd like to be in that 2-man scramble.
I've always heard of a Calcutta. Is that just a fancy name for a shindig before a golf tournament?
It's where they actually wager on each golfer. There's a wager on each golfer.
Okay.
But I got to do that. Hey, and another thing coming this Monday at the Brundage Country Club, a young lady who played golf at Troy University, Abby Manuel. Abby Parks is a maiden name. Abby Parks Manuel is going to have a golf clinic for youth starting this Monday. It's the second Monday of May, June, July, and August from 4 to 7 o'clock at the Brundage Country Club, ages 6 through 14. She'll have 3 different groups. They'll rotate to different stations to develop and learn about the game of golf.
Awesome.
Which is, you can go to Abby Parks Manual. You could search that on Facebook.
If you got a daughter that can consistently shoot in the low 80s, she's probably going to get a college golf scholarship one day.
That's right.
Well,
That's right.
it's for boys and girls, and they have plenty of golf balls. They have some clubs available for, the youth, ages 6 through 14.
Well, I'm looking at.
But I had fun driving that tractor yesterday. That's the first time I have been up behind a tractor in 40 years.
I have never done, and I bet I will make it through life never driving the tractor. I told y'all that my dad was in the gas business, and so they had little gas trucks that had to deliver the gasoline to the country stores and small gas stations. And Rush and Bobby both knew how to drive a stick shift and ended up driving that gas truck, but Bill could not, and so I never drove.
Well, I've got to drive a CP carrier in the military, an 8-inch howitzer in the military.
Well, you can do it.
And deuce and a quarter. But when I was younger, Granddaddy, Lewis McLeod in Goshen, he would show me how to, run the plow, especially bottom plowing, and that's so relaxing. All you have to do is focus that tire in the ditch or in the row, and there you go. And
well, Mike and I are both looking at the Messenger, which is full of a lot of news today.
And one of them is a full-fledged color picture of the new complex, the Pike County Judicial Complex, and it is beautiful. I tell you,
they broke ground yesterday.
And it's going to now. Tell me exactly what do you think? Are they actually putting the facility on the existing place, or where?
It's where the Dunbar project used to be, and I think it goes to where the Boys and Girls Club building is right now. So I guess they're going to move that.
That's going to be raised.
Well, what will they do with
on the bank, out the Banks Highway?
Yeah, and now will they tear down the the living facilities out there?
That's already been torn down.
Oh,
Those
I haven't been by there to see that.
Yeah, I haven't either, Mike. But,
I need to get.
but the
by
main
there.
thing it's going to be more. I thought it was just the jail, but it's more than it's a whole judicial complex, administrative complex, which the jail is going to be one of the buildings.
Yeah.
But you know, the jail, as it says in Huck Treadwell's story, everybody agrees that Pike County has needed a new jail for a long time, and so we're finally getting.
And this
one.
is going to be it's going to bed. How about this? Bed 175 inmates. That's pretty big. That's I can see them holding on to some of these criminals. You know.
Guten Morgen.
Morning.
Buenos dias. Cinco de Mayo. Are y'all having celebrations down there today? Margaritas, maybe?
Yeah, there's $2 tacos and $5 margaritas. Should be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it's going to rain a lot, it looks like.
Boy, that sounds pretty good. That's tonight or what?
Yeah, there's a lot of different places down here that are having Cinco de Mayo parties, having bands and all kinds of specials on
That's a celebration of
margaritas and chips and stuff like that.
It's a celebration of Mexico's victory over France on May the 5th, 1862. It's also called the Battle of Puebla Day. It was a one-day war.
Well, this is, but we're still bragging over this new
Judicial complex.
Pike County Judicial Complex being built, under construction right now in Troy.
As of yesterday, and I see at the end of the story, the price tag is $36 million. So it's a big project, but much needed.
Yeah, and it really surprises me how big it's going to be. It's going to be a large facility. It's going to be a beautiful facility.
Well, it looks like three big buildings.
Yeah.
Connected to each other with the walkways.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty.
Has there ever been talk about expanding Montgomery Street to CGI to a 4-lane? From the bypass.
Mm-hmm. I think they're
there.
headed for it.
Yeah.
From
I mean, I don't know how serious it is, but some people have talked about that could be one of the main entranceways to Troy University.
Yeah.
And really
Turn from the bridge at Highway 231 near Murphy Street, go up Montgomery Street, which turns into Madison Street, which then goes down to the lagoon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our family used to own a gas station across from Bo Coppage's gas station on Madison near the front porch.
Yeah.
And we finally sold it, but the family.
Yeah.
But I always thought, that might be a good piece of property if what you're talking about ever happened.
When y'all were talking about the new complex there, going out north 3 notch toward Banks, if you keep on going past that new site, when you take a left on Needmore Road, that little corner would be a great place for a service station, convenience center, or whatever, because people are going to need to gas up. That'd be a good stop for your police officers to get a biscuit or whatever.
Well, to give you the real deal, the complex looks like it's going to be worth $36 million to build. So it's going to be a beautiful complex, and I know the sheriff of Pike County probably is the one jumping up and down about this, because now he has a facility that will hold 175.
Well, the story notes that
inmates.
for decades, Pike County had the smallest jail in the state. And, I haven't been in the jail in a long time, but I have been in it a couple of times, and it was,
What,
yeah,
what will we do with
it? Kind of cringe, and it made you happy you were not in jail, I'll say that.
What will we do with the old courthouse?
No, the courthouse.
I mean, the old
jail.
Will that still be the
No,
courthouse?
they'll just demolish it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the courthouse, will it still be in use?
The courthouse will be.
The courthouse will be, yeah.
I'm sure the old jail will just be parking.
They didn't move the courthouse. You would think that they would have done it. Make it one price and one location for all. But I imagine they're going to continue to use the courthouse here, and they could use the parts of the jail area to, like during court, and things like that. You
So they're
move
going to have
in
175 inmates in a
there.
facility in Troy?
They can house that many inmates.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's crazy. That's a lot of
that's
people.
right. That's right.
Right now, what do you think they can house? About what, 50?
That's good. That's good. I was thinking the same thing. That'd be my guess, ballpark, but I don't know. I don't know if it's in the story or not. It's gonna, yeah, you would say certainly triple, close to it.
Where is this being built?
On North 3 Street.
The old Dunbar
Housing
gym
project?
softball
where
complex.
you're aware.
You're talking about behind the Knox Street build?
Yeah.
Down the road from there, right where you turn right on to go to the Gibb Street and the elementary school where I go every day to pick up my kids. You turn at the boys club, and right there is now a construction site. They got the fences up, and I get what I've heard, rumor, but I guess it's true, is the boys and girls club facility is going to move down to where the Knox Street ball fields were that we all
Okay, they'll
grew up on.
build a new facility then. Is that right?
I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm qualifying that.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, this is a real plus for Pike County. We've needed it for a long time, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing that's being done here in Pike County. And also, I just got to mention this. They're having right now going on out at Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram trucks. They've got their cash for glunkers. I love it. Cash for
Clunkers.
Clunkers.
Hey, I think I may need a clunker. My truck's acting up.
Cash for clunkers, and that means that if you got any kind of clunker, you can just push it on in there. $4,500 for your clunker, so there's a big sale going on right now at Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram trucks on the bypass. I saw Jason the other day, and he got a big smile on his face. Let me just say this, and I'm not going to mention his names, but one guy sold 23 cars last week.
Month, probably.
I was told it was last week, but maybe it was month. But that's pretty good deal, and if he's, I'm sure he took home some pretty good bread. Didn't you think?
I think he could go down to have a 4-day weekend at Grayton Beach, Florida, with the beautiful people after that month.
When is the last time you heard the word bread when talking about money? you ever?
You got used to it. It
You
was a
should
big
hear it all the
70s
time.
term, yeah.
You got any bread?
Give me bread.
Yeah, but
Hey,
really.
I'm on Zoom if they want to put me on camera.
All right, Mike Amos is on Zoom this morning. If you want to put his pretty face on camera.
Hey, I want to thank Bobby and the Messenger for they ran one of my sports columns in the same paper today.
Well, good.
I wrote one after the draft. We talked about it here. I pointed out that the key to Coach Saban's dynasty that he has created is, of course, recruiting. Everybody would agree with that, but it's more than that. It's national recruiting. So I actually did an analysis and figured out how many, in this last draft, Alabama had 10 players selected, 6 in the first round.
Yeah.
Of those 10 players, only 1 was from the state of Alabama. I found that interesting. None of the none of the first round picks were from Alabama. And then I went back and counted up all the people that Saban had recruited that had been drafted in the first round, which is 37 players, which is amazing. Only 15 of those were from the state of Alabama. And then I said, well, how many of the starters on Alabama's national championship team game against Ohio State actually came from the state of Alabama? Only 2 of 22. So you see that the reason Alabama has become a dynasty is they're getting the 4- and 5-star prospects from Hawaii to Canada to Philadelphia. And then I compared that to Coach Bryant's dynasty. He also created a dynasty. But just about all of those players, as we've talked about on here, where did they come from? the state of Alabama, little small towns. And
That's right.
I even looked at the 1961 team that Dad was a member of, and I know that roster up and down. And back then, probably 30 players played in the game, Mike, because you played both ways.
Yeah,
there weren't
right.
many that played. And I can only identify one player on that national championship team, Mike Frocky from Memphis, Tennessee, who was not from the state of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So you contrast that, once you had 99% of your team from one state, and now all your key players are from out of state.
Yeah.
So that's what my column's about.
Well, when you look at Southern Cal, when they were dominant, or even go back to Oklahoma, I bet most of their players were from the little Midwest area or Oklahoma. They didn't reach out, and I think it's just a trend nationally.
Yeah.
Probably the same thing in basketball.
To be successful
in the
a league,
60s, 50s, and 60s,
You
it
could
was
do it.
local.
local, within 5 hours of campus probably, where people
And
could
then,
drive to
and then
campus.
as transportation has expanded and social media,
That's exactly. Well, you couldn't.
you got
recruit-
more recruiters, you got more coaches that can go out and find these guys.
I made the point in the
More
column
money.
that if Coach Bryant was coaching today, he would be recruiting nationally. But back then, they did not ask Max Howell. They didn't have the staff to recruit nationwide, or the budgets, or the ESPN, and all these recruiting services.
Max Howell had a birthday yesterday.
Oh, did he?
I don't know how he was. I saw it on
He's
Facebook.
I
been
think he's
good.
about 81, 82.
He's my good
He's a
friend.
young 81.
Sporting News has Alabama players for next year's draft already out. They have Evan Neal at number 3 pick in the first round. Christian Harris, the linebacker, at number 12. John Mechie, the wide receiver, at 23. Jordan Battle, the safety, at number 25. And Josh Jobe, the cornerback, at number 31. So they have potentially 5 guys going in the first round next year.
Might be more than that.
Mike, while we're talking about former Alabama players, Pike Liberal Arts has just named Cornelius Griffin their defensive coordinator. What do you think about that?
Well, that's that had to be a tough decision to make. I mean, the guy doesn't know a whole lot about football. So, I think Robert Rowland, the softball coach, and he was defense coordinator last year, is retiring. And
He is.
Yeah.
Cornelius coach defensive.
And right now he's got their
so-
softball team looking real good right now too. So we'll be talking about that later. Of course,
Cornelius being the defense coordinator is no surprise. I'm sure he'll do a wonderful job.
and that's a coup right there. Now I tell you, to get this
He
guy.
was a great Alabama player that came from Alabama, from Brundage, Alabama. And,
Brundage, Alabama, exactly.
I watched him. He was good he was a junior college transfer. Had a really good first year as a junior, but man, his senior year he was awesome.
And he originally signed with Auburn, but he went to a junior college, and Alabama picked him up out of the junior college, and they were, of course, he was a former New York Giant, selected Griffin
Second
on the
round,
second
though.
round, yeah.
He played with the Redskins for
Yeah.
I think almost 6 or 7 years.
I think he had like a 9-year.
You reckon where he'll park his Bentley while he's at practice? You reckon he'll park where?
You know,
I tell you what, man, you see a lot of Teslas down here. That's all everybody's driving is Elon Musk's cars down here. They have Tesla stations down here. I guess you go plug up your car.
I haven't seen one of those yet. So, but I gave you the backstory on how Cornelius came to Alabama. I think I'm right. He did. He was going to go to Auburn out of high school, went to junior college, but while he was at junior college, his first cousin, I think Quincy Jackson, or cousin, went to Alabama and had a great career himself as a receiver. And so Cornelius changed his decision and went with his cousin to Tuscaloosa. Played together for, I
He
think,
probably
one-
could go see his cousin play on Saturday afternoons in Tuscaloosa, which is a quicker trip from Mississippi to.
Yeah. Well,
Tuscaloosa.
on this show today, let's try to.
Cornelius played for the Giants from 2000 2003, the Redskins from 2004 to 2009. He was first team All-SEC in 1999.
Yeah, and he's a great man. I'll tell you that. He had done so much to help his fellow man in Pike County, and he's another one of those people that he's done so much to help so many people, and of course not for any kind of praise.
He's from a great family.
And he'll influence a lot of young men out at Pike Liberal Arts, and more power to him. And of course, we've got more things going on right now. Forrest, what do you think?
Well, I got Braden Presswood from Charles Henson High School. He went to Mobile yesterday and played golf at the Mobile Country Club. He shot an 80. He was unable to qualify for the next round, but he's a ninth grader. I want to congratulate Braden on a great season, and I know he's looking forward to next year.
How many times I've shot an 80 in my golf career, which is
Zero.
I think the best I ever shot was an 81, and that was, I guarantee you, I had one or two mulligans, so that shouldn't have been.
But in baseball today, Pike Liberal Arts will travel to Selma to play Morgan Academy in a doubleheader. First pitch at 4 o'clock, and the second game will immediately follow that. The winner will advance to the state finals, and they will either play Glenwood or Bessemer. Crenshaw Christian Academy in Luverne will play Pickens. I believe that's today at Pickens, and the winner of that will play Coosa Valley or Jackson for the state championship. In softball yesterday, there's a better article in the Troy Messenger, but I know the Lady Trojans of Charles Henderson, they finished 2-2. They lost 2 close games to the eventual winner, Andalusia. They both will travel to Gulf Shores in the regional for the Alabama High School Athletic Association softball regionals. Other sites besides Gulf Shores are Montgomery, Tuscaloosa, and Florence. If you are finished first or second in the regional, you will qualify for the state championships, which will be held the 18th through the 22nd of May in Oxford, Alabama. So that's the first time Oxford, they've got the state championships in Oxford.
Lagoon Park.
Oxford's one of the boom towns in Alabama. It's really growing out there.
And speaking of Lagoon Park, the Lady Patriots are playing in an 8-team state championship tournament in Lagoon Park this Friday and Saturday. Pike Liberal Arts girls will play for the AAA in the AAA division against Fort Dale this Friday at noon on Field 2. The Lady Cougars of Crenshaw will play Pickens at 10 o'clock on Field 6. And that's a double elimination this Friday and Saturday, so good luck to the Lady Cougars of Crenshaw and to the Lady Patriots of Pike Liberal Arts.
They do it just like the College World Series, that has eight teams.
Yeah, and
well, Pike Liberal Arts today, that's on Troy Cablevision, I think. I don't know if they're going to do it live or rebroadcast, but huge game against Morgan.
Well, in softball, Goshen and Ott, Pike County, and New Brockton will play Thursday, which is tomorrow. These games, George W. Long and Ayrton and Elba and Zion Chapel, those games started yesterday. They were not been able to finish. Luverne, Highland Home, Calhoun, those games have not finished. That area tournament has not finished. But Brantley won their area tournament yesterday. I think it was like 18-0 and 15-1.
So they just sit back and wait, don't they?
They will be going to Gulf Shores to play. I think Red Level finished second, so they'll go to Gulf Shores for the regionals. And as it relates to COVID, Slocum High and Slocum Middle School are going virtual the rest of this week because of an outbreak of COVID-19 in their school system. About 12 cases.
Well, I think they're saying that the vaccine can be given now to 12 and up. I mean, when do kids start taking it?
Steve just said 17 and up in Alabama.
Well, I read 12 and up down here in Florida, so I don't know.
16 and up in Alabama.
16 and up in Alabama, Mike.
Yeah. I think that may be a precautionary thing in Slocum. That's south, that's rural Alabama.
Yeah.
And
but
the Braves. Did y'all see where the Braves pitcher hit a grand slam?
No.
The Braves pitcher. That's his second career Grand Slam. He's 22 years old.
Wow.
Oh God.
That's the second home run this season already.
That's right. And the Braves beat the Nationals 6-1.
This guy's like the kid from Japan that we talked about.
All right, you're going to have to help me with his pronunciation of his name.
I think his name's Noah.
Yeah. Huskar Noah. All right, now listen to this. Here's where it gets kind of tricky. The Braves had a pitcher by the name of Jamie Garcia who hit a grand slam on the 21st day of July, 2017. 3 days later, that pitcher was traded to the Minnesota Twins. For who? The same guy that just did a grand slam. So that was in Alabama.com
last week. I
on
remember
CBS Sports.
we talked about this young phenom from Japan that is a starting pitcher, a good pitcher apparently, and he's an everyday player.
For San Diego.
That is a great hitter and hits a lot of home runs. So apparently there are other pitchers that can hit home runs too, but this guy does not play every day.
Yeah, this guy DHs and plays first base and pitches.
Aren't they going to the full-time DH next year?
I hope so.
As far as
I
collective
never liked
bargaining,
that.
In the
Yeah,
National League?
I think
they should do it.
collective
no question.
bargaining. I think that's they're going universal DH.
We've got our 10 biggest steals of the NFL draft, and who do y'all think was the biggest steal?
Well, I'm not an expert except on Alabama players. I think Deontay Brown went in the 6th round, which I thought he was going to go earlier than that, but he was a road grader in the run game. Real good blocker, huge left guard for Alabama.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for a 6th round pick, I wouldn't be surprised if he had a long, good NFL career.
One of the top picks was Elijah Moore of Ole Miss, the wide receiver. A lot of people think he should have gone in the 1st round.
Michael talked about him the other day, what he's infamous for.
Well, Mr.
Oh
Irrelevant.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, he got in trouble with
Yeah, I mean, I think Justin Fields going number 11. I mean, even though that's still high, going number 11, I think Fields will be an immediate starter for Chicago Bears.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then the Patriots took Barmore of Alabama, and that was Belichick's pick.
Where did he come from? Where did Alabama get him?
They got him.
He's from Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Another one.
And he was turned down by he turned down Notre Dame and Ohio State to go to Alabama. You know, and all he is 6'4", 310. You reckon he's big enough?
That was that's the same size as Cornelius Griffin. He was 6'4", 309.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you another Cornelius Griffin story. When I was the sports editor of the Messenger, and then I worked at the Troy Progress, and then I had my own paper, and so I would make the rounds of practices and do my preseason stories. And one day I went down to Brundage to take some pictures and talk to Coach Grant, and I only had about 25 players, as always, at Brundage. And I went out there, and the first player you couldn't miss was this guy that was about 6'4", 230, tight end back then. And I said, oh, my goodness. I mean, he looked like an NFL player right then.
He's a great one. And, we talk about things that he's done for his fellow man in Pike County for years. And, K.T. Cole, good friend of mine, and, very, very good friend of Cornelius, says, hey, people just don't know what he has done for his fellow man in Pike County.
Same thing with K.T. Cole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of things that he did, I know for me and our players at the middle school, that a lot of people don't know what went on. And, even, behind that, some of the cake sales. And
he's always
another person.
Dad's got a second chance in life. Maybe he'll start doing something.
Well, you could add him to your list of people who've done things for people that.
It's like Willie Thomas at the middle school.
Right.
He was pretty dynamic. He's a dynamic person. We need a 25-year-old Willie Thomas.
Yeah.
Where is Mr. Thomas?
He's still in Troy, as far as I know.
But he's retired now. He is retired, isn't he?
I believe so.
He was the superintendent in Macon County after he left Troy.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah, you got to double dip and go to another state, don't you?
Yeah, that's right.
I don't think he went out of state. But
But
the
you-
park
Dr.
band's
Dr.
playing.
Key's back in Troy. He
Yeah,
went to
I
Georgia.
see him.
for-
He lives up on Crow Hill, and I see him quite often. And he's a great guy too. He's
He's a
one of
great
these.
singer.
I know he is. Got the great band, the Fabulous Shades.
Yeah, Larry Hughes is kin to my first cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
Joanne.
But John Key is a thoughtful person. He'll drop you a note, or he'll call you up and say, "How are you doing?" and all that. Those things mount up. And he really is a fine person, Dr. John Key.
Man. Let's make today John Key Day.
Yeah, all right, let's do. Today is on L.A. Is Be Kind to John Key Day, and
His son John Key's the ambassador to Cuba, isn't he? Hasn't he been over there like 100 times?
I don't believe he's a bad ambassador, but
His
he goes there a
daughter-in-law,
lot.
Dawn Key, is one of the best teachers in the Troy City school system.
Maggie was lucky
She's
to
the-
have Dawn as a teacher.
Is that John's
Daughter-in-law.
Daughter-in-law.
Okay, yeah,
John Jr.'s.
yeah.
He used to be the superintendent of Pike County Schools, and he went to somewhere
How
in
many
Georgia.
how many shows do you think John Key's played in his life with the Fabulous Shades?
Oh boy, quite a bit. But they started in 1963. That's when they started playing, and they've been playing ever since.
That would be a good story because they were a big-time regional band, weren't they? I mean, they
Well,
played all over.
I'll tell you something about them too. And they recorded a song, that I loved, and they call me Mr. Pitiful. They call me Mr. Pitiful. I don't know, but it was a great song and a great bop song.
I've always thought there are so many good musicians that have great songs, but for some reason they don't get discovered, and some do. But
The park band is coming Friday
Yeah,
night
we
on
want,
the
we want
square.
you to, we want
Speaking
you
of
to
great
all to
local
know
bands.
that the park band is coming to town Friday night from 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock. And buddy, they're one of the top rock bands in America.
They don't live in Troy anymore.
Yeah, they live in Troy. They live in Troy.
well,
Most of them,
one
yeah.
of the founders of the band has moved to Decatur
Oh, has he?
with his wife.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Talked with my wife at Charles Henderson. That's one of my wife's best friends.
Yeah, see if you can get. They call me Mr. Pitiful, and John Key.
We can only-
John Key recorded that song, and he was the voice behind that song.
Did they write the song too, or just recorded it?
I just recorded it. Yeah, they didn't write it, but there was one other group.
My favorite song they sing is "Double Shot of My Baby Boy."
Oh yeah, they can sing some good ones. But see if you can give me. They call me Mr. Pitiful. It's a great song.
We can play it for her.
It's a song that they
7
use
seconds.
the sax in it quite a bit. And
That's Bob Corley. Buck Corley.
yeah, that's right. Buck Corley's brother Bob is playing the sax, and
He's multi-talented.
Yeah.
He's a cousin of mine, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Corley from
Oh, yeah.
Montgomery. But he is a talented
He's
musician.
yeah.
He's Mr. Alabama Public Television.
Well, he used to be.
And I
He's
noticed that
retired,
Jay Corley's son graduates from.
I saw a picture of that. That makes me feel old. He was a starting football player on that great
Yeah.
Montgomery Academy team this year.
Yeah, that's right. But he graduates from Montgomery Academy, and I don't know where he's going. I would think he'd be going to Alabama. But that's Jay Corley's son, already
Yeah,
graduating from
Jay
college.
Corley and Michelle Harris.
Yeah, that's right. And great people, great
Bob
people.
is, and then he married a great lady, Sandra Palazzos, that I got to know well in Montgomery. She was involved in a lot of things. They did a little newspaper for a while in Montgomery that was really good.
And he's doing some things now that are unique in Montgomery, and he's quite talented, no question about it.
Nico is there. Nico Corley is their son, and he is.
That Bob's
Okay.
son?
That's Bob's son.
Yeah.
And he loves the outdoors, and he's a good writer, outdoors writer. Too.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I think Jay and Michelle's son is Jones.
Jones, yeah, Jones Corley, and he's heading to college.
I'll
man.
tell you how I'm kin to the Corleys. Bob's daddy was Mr. Corley.
Yeah, Papa Corley.
He was Papa Corley.
Yeah, but his grandfather and my grandfather were first cousins.
Oh, okay.
Hickey Chapman and
that's right.
Nico's
I mean,
grandfather.
Buck's a nickname. What's Buck? Lewis?
Louis J. Buck Corley.
Louis Corley. Louis is
and I tell you what, old Buck was a pretty good football player too. And I tell you, and all you had to do was look at his legs and know that he could play.
Lewis and Lorraine, two of the nicer people in Troy.
Yeah, you're right. Louis Corley. Papa Corley was as fine a man as you ever met. Great guy.
The mom, though, was a great golfer. Didn't she have like several hole-in-ones at Troy Country Club?
No, I don't think so, but she liked to play golf. Miss Lorraine, she liked to play golf. I don't believe she ever made a hole-in-one, though.
I thought she had like 3 or 4 hole-in-ones.
No, I don't think so, but I might be wrong.
Who else was in the Fabulous Shades? So we have
Larry Hughes.
Larry Hughes.
Yeah, and
John Key.
Headley.
Headley, yeah, David Headley. And they had the drummer was.
Now I say were in the Fabulous Shades. I think they still play from time to time.
Oh, they play.
He had
they play when they can.
Tank Green, didn't you?
Tank.
Or his brother.
No, Kerry played some for them, but he played in another band called Reunion. He played in.
I wonder how much extra spending money they made doing that. You got a lot of expenses and travel.
Oh, they do, and they just love to do it. I probably have booked them more than any one person, and they've always been very reasonable, and of course they've got the all of them are professional people. The drummer is oh shoot, he's from here in Troy.
Jeff Johnson?
No, don't make me have to. I can't.
There's another Fabulous Shades band out of South Carolina, so let's watch
this band is out of Troy, Alabama, and they were good. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Fabulous Shades, Troy.
This is Barney at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and I'm here to nip this sale in the bud.
Hello, folks. This is Greg Anthony, sales manager at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Troy, Alabama, offering discounts up to $15,000.
Let's nip that.
0% financing up to 72 months.
We gotta nip that.
Barney, $5,000 over Kelly Blue Book for your trade-in.
You're killing the competition.
Barney!
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
This is my chart from Southeast Health.
And you're going to want to make it yours. Not because it's free,
but because it's priceless. Because with my chart, you can schedule appointments online with your provider.
You can email your provider and get answers.
Have a virtual visit.
Get test results.
Refill prescriptions.
And manage your family's health care. You know how you all want health care to be easier?
But no one seems to listen? Well, someone did.
Southeast Health.
To get your free MyChart app,
visit your app store or go to southeasthealth.org.
When something's just right, it's more than a good fit. It's that perfect feeling. And at Badcock Home Furniture and More, that means just for you comfort. Find styles that move you at Badcock's Motion and More sale. Featuring new recliner sets like our remarkable Duke collection or our selection of Lazy Boy recliners. All with no credit refused. So shop what's just right at your local Badcock in Elba and Enterprise. Badcock Home Furniture and More. Just right.
This is Barney at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and I'm here to nip this sale in the bud.
Hello, folks. This is Greg Anthony, sales manager at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Troy, Alabama, offering discounts up to $15,000.
Let's nip that.
0% financing up to 72 months.
We gotta nip that.
Barney, $5,000 over Kelly Blue Book for your trade-in.
You're killing the competition.
Barney!
Some kind of clicking.
Back to our show, brought to you by our great friends at Troy Bank and Trust Company. Remember, Troy Bank and Trust Company is the only bank you'll ever need. You know, they've got what, 14, 15 locations already, and we've got a noise that we're going to have to maybe pick up and let them dial in again. But we're talking about. Yeah, there it goes. All right, that did it. That did it right there. Okay. And of course, we're back. Want to talk about
the fabulous shades,
but also want to talk about Troy Regional Medical Center, and they've got their big balloon drop coming up, and that's their big fundraiser. And if somebody calls and asks you to join this group. Please do, because it goes to a worthy cause at Troy Regional Medical Center. Mike Amos, are you back on the air?
Yeah, I've been reading up on Aaron Rodgers, the saga in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers looks like he wants to be traded. I don't know if Green Bay wants to get rid of Aaron Rodgers, though. I mean, he's 37, 38 years old. I mean, I guess maybe he wants to try to go to another team and try to do what Tom Brady's done, but I don't know what's going to happen here.
Well, let's see if we can figure out what team he could really benefit.
Didn't he mention the Raiders?
Yep.
Yeah, the Raiders.
Yeah, playing for Gruden. You know, he's from out west. He's a California boy, so that would make sense to be in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Who had the best chance? Denver, okay,
so
yeah.
The Raiders, who are now Las Vegas, Denver. Yeah. I heard some national sports talk guy mention San Francisco, but they just signed this young quarterback. But I guess they could have him for a couple years.
Yeah, you're right. He would have to learn.
He just got engaged to a Hollywood actress, so I mean, he wants to spend the majority of his time in California anyway.
And he, I think, from what we were talking about yesterday, he wants to be the guy that runs Jeopardy, and.
He's serious about that, I think.
That's right, and you got to be smart to do that too.
Yeah, we are.
Just think of the the late great
Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek. Just think of his vocabulary. Boy, it would have to be one of the best in the world, wouldn't you say?
He was the best.
Yeah, the Browns are in the mix. They have Baker Mayfield. The Broncos have nobody. They have Drew Lock, the former Missouri quarterback who hadn't done that well. The Raiders have, my goodness, the guy that played at Fresno State. I can't think of his name. But Dolphins have Tua. Giants have Daniel Jones. The Titans have Tannehill. And then the Washington Redskins have Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I'll tell you right now, every one of them.
Carr is the quarterback for the Raiders.
Every one of them could benefit from him. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you. Because if he gets in a bid war, evidently he's a free agent. Is that right?
No.
No, he's trying to just get out of his contract.
Oh, buy out of his contract. Okay.
He's got a contract, so see if they hold him to his contract.
Well, tell us some other things that happen in Troy University. Is off this week. They've got graduation, and I'd like to take this time right now to wish all of you folks that are graduating from Troy University this week. They're going to have two graduation exercises, and
wow,
it's another big one, a real big,
that beautiful Trojan Arena.
That's right, and it's always good. But again, we wish you a lot of success, and hope you'll come back a lot and see us, when you're gone. And
when I was doing my research for my golf story that was in this last month's Troy Life, I was reading all the headlines of the day from May 1962, and one of them was Troy State Teachers College set to graduate 189 students.
Yeah, that was a bunch back then. You're right.
That probably was a big one.
But I was with a bunch of.
Troy baseball will be on the road playing Coastal Carolina in 3-game series this weekend. It looks like Troy's not going to make up that game against Alabama. They got postponed due to the weather, so that's a shame. But Alabama won't return the trip to Troy.
But I'll tell you what they did though, Mike. They stayed down here almost half the night waiting for it to stop raining. I mean, Alabama did what a lot of people would have cranked up way ahead of time, but Alabama hung in there. Were trying to get the game in.
And they scheduled Troy in Tuscaloosa, which we always appreciate.
Yeah, we
the barbecue trip.
Went on y'all's barbecue tour.
Yeah, the barbecue tour.
It was the barbecue pilgrimage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Only place I didn't go is Archibald. That's a legendary barbecue place in Tuscaloosa too.
All right, give me the top 10 barbecue places to eat at in America. I mean, in Alabama.
All right.
In America.
Yeah, no, in Alabama.
And people are fierce on their opinions on barbecue places.
All right,
so
go
be
ahead.
careful.
Go ahead.
Green Top going to Jasper is probably in my top 10.
Green Top going to Jasper.
It's a famous barbecue place. Archibald is in my top 10 in Tuscaloosa, the original Dreamland. Saul's in Birmingham. Rodney Scott's barbecue out of South Carolina is the best barbecue I've had.
All right, what was it? What was
lifetime.
it? South Carolina barbecue?
Yeah, Martin's where y'all went after Avery's funeral. It's one of my favorites out of Nashville. That's in Birmingham.
Yeah, that's a new one, yeah.
Jim and Nick's people still like. Full Moon people still like. Hook's barbecue ribs are out of this world.
Hook's barbecue ribs gets his top 10 at least. Is that right?
And the best barbecue sandwiches is still Jim's.
Yeah, I think so too, because they you pull meat. They pull that meat off.
It was too big for Mike and I to eat it.
Apparently down in Elba, though, got voted best barbecue in Alabama.
I know it. And have y'all eaten at the one in Elba?
I need to.
A lot of people in Elba's, people were watching today. A lot of people think that's the best barbecue around.
If you're going
Mike,
past,
you nailed all the top ones right off the top of your head.
You can go past.
Well, as you can tell, I'm a real big guy, and I love to eat.
Yeah, you're right. No question. Where are you on the air? Are you anywhere on the air that we can see you?
I'm.
All right, here we go. He's fixing to go right now. Here you go.
What are you talking about?
All right.
We got you zooming.
Again, barbecue.
I haven't eaten at a lot of these places. I've always heard of Archibald's.
Yeah, I used to think it was.
Really good.
Yeah, I used to think it was all in the sauce, and it does have a lot to do with it. But I think
now Big Bob Gibson's in Decatur is known for the white sauce. They're the ones that originated that, and it's not bad. It's not great either.
And that's in Decatur. Oh boy!
I've been the whole state eating barbecue.
Yeah, you have. You really have, and of course it's all good, and. We're proud of what we got here in Troy.
Well, Hooks is right up there, and it has established a statewide regional reputation pretty fast. You know, I don't know when Hooks opened. How long have we had Hooks? We've had it about 20 years.
I don't know. You know what Forrest Leaf's doing is sitting back there saying, "Oh, I can do that. I can borrow that. I can barbecue that."
Well, whenever you go to Luverne, go across the Patchoulagee River Bridge. Right as you take a left there, going toward Rutledge and Greenville.
Yeah, that's right.
There's a Bush's Barbecue there that has tremendous barbecue.
Oh, okay.
It used to be the Hooks, but now it's Bush's.
I've been to that place.
Yeah, but they changed hands. But what I was saying was, I think it means a lot whether or not it's chopped or pulled. Mm-hmm. I think the pulled barbecue is what you want.
It used to be,
and you can get a pulled barbecue sandwich from Hook.
One of the most famous places, and I would say it was really good, was Twix and Tween in Centerville, which is no more, is what I understand. Yeah. The whole town was bypassed with the bypass.
And of course, if you want to live Bear Bryant's life over again, go to Jim's.
Every Alabama coach and assistant has been to.
It's honored.
Every piece of artwork in Jim's is University of Alabama Athletics.
No question. Drew Nelson, are you getting ready? The great young left-hander for Pike Liberal.
I got raise my hand and say something.
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite places was Country's Barbecue, which was well
I
known
liked
and
it
had
too.
places all over the state at one time,
Yeah.
or several places. You know, I think they are all closed now.
Yeah.
I think I just read a
That's
story
right.
that the final
Yeah.
location in Montgomery just closed.
And they got a great location for a barbecue place right there, and I wish somebody would take it over.
We had Country's Barbecue
There's one
in
open
Troy
in
for-
LaGrange, Georgia,
Yeah.
because I had
About a
some this
decade.
weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
And that place has been empty ever since.
Yeah.
Which is the highest traffic count in Troy.
And let me tell you a couple other things.
I
I've
tell you,
done.
Red Schoolhouse has got pretty good barbecue.
I know it really does. It really does have good barbecue. My brother ate there this weekend, was just raving over the barbecue.
Well, right now, Country's Barbecue location, there's nowhere to park because Tractor Supply has that parking lot slammed,
They do.
taken over.
Yeah, but I tell you, I would like to see somebody take it over.
What
but,
was that
but
place
another,
first? It was what was it when it was
Western
built?
Sizzling, maybe?
Yeah, he was Western Sizzling, and Willie Coughlin ran that store, and it was really, really good.
It was several things.
But
he ran
let me-
that, and then he ran Mr. J.
Yeah, but let me tell you.
Now he's running the Pike County Lake.
All right, let me say something before I forget it. Their French fries. This is at the barbecue
Countries?
Countries. Their French
Yeah, they
fries
were
were
good.
cut differently than any, and they're
Home
long.
fries is what they
and it was excellent potatoes. And something else they had that was delicious was sweet potatoes. They had, boy, you can get big old
I
sweet
like their
potato.
champ stew.
Get a big old sweet potato and put cinnamon and sugar on it, boy,
Cinnamon.
and butter. That was a great.
I ate at the
great
one.
deal.
They had two locations in Montgomery. One of them was in Zelda Road and that curve, which is woo, that
Yeah.
was awful to get in and out of there. But I gave them a lot of business, and I gave them a lot of business
Yeah.
in Troy.
Well, and there's a guy that keeps calling me wanting to start a barbecue house, and you know, it wouldn't be hard to do, you know, to have a barbecue place because it just takes one item, and that's a pit.
What is the original Dreamland to this
Yeah.
day? They serve, I think, ribs and white bread. You know,
Yeah, that's right. That's
might
all
have
they
added
had.
one
Yeah.
They do like banana pudding and a few sides now.
Yeah.
Consolidate the old Pizza Hut
Yeah.
with that other building right there and build it there.
And if you're going to
Right beside churches.
if you're going to a Biscuits game, the best place to eat is the barbecue place right behind it.
But that's closed.
Speaking of the
Where?
Montgomery,
It's not closed, is it?
The Montgomery Dreamland closed because of COVID
Are you serious?
months ago.
They-
Now, they
Yeah.
left open the possibility they might reopen.
I think they have reopened. I want to say,
I haven't called it,
but
maybe
that's a good place to eat.
Oh yeah, it was a great location.
the biscuit season started last night, but it got rained out, so it's Double-A
Yeah.
baseball. They're traveling away, but they'll be home next
Yeah.
week, next Tuesday.
And we would love to
home
give
opener.
away tickets to those.
Everybody here has
those
probably
games.
gone to the alleyway in Montgomery, which they
Oh, yeah.
just developed when I was living up there, and Dreamland was kind of one of the anchor stores of the
Yeah.
then they have an Italian restaurant that was really
Yeah,
good.
that pizza place there is pretty amazing. I used to meet Richard Calhoun there, driving through Montgomery a lot,
Yeah.
having pizza.
But I tell you what, still my favorite place
What's
is.
it, Zaza?
Zaza's, that's right. Zaza.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's still open,
good.
I hope.
And I love Martin's restaurant in Montgomery. And that wonderful, wonderful coconut pie.
But there were times before COVID hit, you would go to a concert at the Montgomery Performing Arts
Yeah.
Center on Friday night, and it was packed in
Yeah.
downtown Montgomery.
Oh
man.
yeah, it's a and our
Yeah,
buddy.
they did a great job of all that. Of course,
Hey,
the famous,
I'll buy-
blues
I'll-
bars there, still
yeah.
out there.
You know, no telling what the Montgomery is starting to bring into convention type facilities. They just do a great job of that.
Well, they have some nice hotels, and the alleyway project was nice, and then they've kept developing them. And they had some real momentum. I hope they can get it back.
The hero behind that is our guy with the
One of them,
with the arts. What's his name?
Bronner.
Bronner, your boy.
You know who the unsung hero is?
He's wonderful.
You know, I wrote for the Montgomery Independent editor for 7 years. Got to be pretty good friends with Jerry Beasley, the founder of Beasley Allen.
Yeah, and he's another person that does a lot of
Well,
things to help his fellow man too. You're right.
He bought up pretty much over time a whole block on Lower Commerce Street from where his offices are going down toward the river, and fixed up those buildings beautifully, restored them. No telling how much money he spent doing it, but that was really important. It was before anybody else, but that helped save the character of downtown Montgomery. And then another entity that doesn't get enough credit is Troy University.
Yeah.
What they did with the Montgomery downtown campus. They have fixed up many buildings.
And their theater is still outstanding and has brought in a lot of cultural events for the city of Montgomery. And so
well, they built the Roseland Park Museum too, didn't they?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And and another young man is the guy that built Pike Road. Gordon Stone, that built Pike Road. It was pretty much his vision on all of it. I don't know if it was for the great housing area out there called the Waters. If you've never been out there, if you've never seen the Waters, you need to go see it. It is really, really
It's
unique.
kind of took the seaside approach to
That's right.
country living. Seaside has all these houses that have this, well, they're pastel colors and tin roofs and front porches and real slow driving. Yeah. It's urban development. Well, the Waters did that in a pasture land with some with a bunch of ponds, and it is really neat. But I've done several stories on that and got to know the original owner. And here's the way these developments work in Troy or anywhere, except for the Mike Amos and Carol Crow development of Crow Hill.
Oh, gosh.
Normally, the people that have these great ideas and sink all this money in the projects, a lot of times they go bankrupt doing them or don't ever. It's the person that comes in after them that fulfills the vision.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with the Waters. I mean, it went from 200 houses to probably well over 1,000.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you've seen the long-term plans for the Waters, like I have, they envision 15 or 20,000 people living at the Waters with shopping centers, you name it, out there.
They could name it Yuppieville, USA, couldn't they?
Well, they just built a new Publix right there at that four-way intersection.
That's right. That new
I
Publix.
just saw that.
Wow.
No, that's not near the Waters. That's near where I used to live.
That's where the Waters shop.
Down at Seaside, they allow no public parking anymore in Seaside. Everything has to be by shuttle out of Grayton. Grayton has a big parking lot going up towards 98 that people have to park and get on shuttles to Seaside. And then in Seaside now, they do valet parking for $15.
Oh, that is amazing. But now, so no parking inside of Seaside?
Yeah, you can't park inside. You can still park on the little side streets going in where there's spots, but you can't actually park in the actual community anymore.
They don't have enough parking. Troy.
Yeah, they have a school there. A lot of people don't realize there's a school that starts in 5th grade through 12th.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This
the Seaside School.
Boy, that's a nice school.
Troy University used some of those concepts. It's the campus of Troy University is supposed to be pedestrian friendly, and it is.
Yeah.
But it's real important where you put the parking.
That's right.
And so it's not an eyesore, right? And they have done that. They put it on the perimeter areas, and some of these design architectural concepts that you see in downtown Montgomery, the Waters, Seaside, you even see them at Troy University. Yeah.
We're going to take a break right at 8 o'clock. Where is your child? Is he on the way to school, or has he been get to sleep late and you get to tutor him? We'll talk about that right after we get back.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
This is my chart from Southeast Health.
And you're going to want to make it yours. Not because it's free,
but because it's priceless. Because with my chart, you can schedule appointments online with your provider.
You can email your provider and get answers.
Have a virtual visit.
Get test results.
Refill prescriptions.
And manage your family's health care. You know how we all want healthcare to be easier?
But no one seems to listen? Well, someone did.
Southeast Health.
To get your free MyChart app,
visit your app store or go to southeasthealth.org.
When something's just right, it's more than a good fit. It's that perfect feeling. And at Badcock Home Furniture and More, that means just for you comfort. Find styles that move you at Badcock's Motion and More sale. Featuring new recliner sets like our remarkable Duke collection or our selection of Lazy Boy recliners, all with no credit refused. So shop what's just right at your local Badcock in Elba and Enterprise. Badcock Home Furniture and More, just right.
Hello, you're on Today in LA.
This is Barney in Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and I'm here to nip this sale in the bud.
Hello, folks. This is Greg Anthony, sales manager at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Troy, Alabama, offering discounts up to $15,000.
Let's nip that.
0% financing up to 72 months.
We gotta nip that.
Barney, $5,000 over Kelly Blue Book for your trade-in.
You're killing the competition.
Barney!
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Oh, man, I can't even.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Max Howell.
And Stephen
Happy
Camp.
birthday to you. I bet you hadn't had it. I bet you hadn't had that done.
Thank you, guys.
I bet you haven't had that song sung to you in your lifetime, have you?
That's about as good as I've ever heard, Mike.
Yeah.
And Steve Camp.
And Stephen J. Camp.
Yeah,
Max
Steve-
Howell and Steve Camp have the same birthdays, actually yesterday.
That's right.
Camp Howell. Wow.
Max, how's everything going, brother?
Really good, Mike. Really. It's moving fast. It's about passed me by, to be honest with you. I'm having to struggle to keep up right now.
Well, I'll tell you this: the way the weather's been. Did y'all have some storms this week?
Yeah, we had some yesterday, in fact. I've been lucky now. If they go below me and north of me, I've had no damage, a few limbs in the yard. But other than that, we've been very fortunate. I mean, there's been some spotty, all around North Mississippi. Last weekend, I believe, we had like 5 small tornadoes touch down. They all in rural areas. We've had very little injury and no deaths from them.
Yeah, Birmingham had several cars underwater yesterday. It was horrible flooding in downtown Birmingham.
Yeah, that same front came through here, and they went below us. It went down around Columbus, and then it moved into Tuscaloosa, I think, and then on up toward Birmingham.
A weather story I missed that Michael talked about yesterday was I didn't know that Shoal Creek, Alabama's most famous, prettiest golf course, got severe damage from some tornadoes about a month ago. That's so sad.
And now
the major the traditions in Birmingham this week. So all the great golfers on the senior tour are trying to play this week.
I used to love to go to that. I used to enjoy going up there for that tournament, and you can still go, ladies and gentlemen. It's
and Max Howell used to be the golf coach.
I don't think it costs any more than $25 to go to see it.
I used to do radio shows. For them. At least 1 or 2 days every year.
Well, we're talking to Max Howell from Fulton, Mississippi, and he's our guru during football season. What do you think about the draft? Do you think I'm gonna guess what you're gonna say. Who do you think did well?
Well, Alabama did. I mean, come on, tied the record with 6 first rounders, and certainly I think they had 10 overall. That wasn't the largest number they've ever had. I believe 4 or 5 years ago they had 12 some of the remarks I had this morning on Facebook, a projection of coming up is going to be Georgia and Oklahoma for the national championship. But guys, I almost guarantee you that ain't going to happen.
Yeah, but you're right.
Not
though.
so fast.
I know exactly, but
I want to make a point about Alabama. One of the records that are piling up with Alabama and Coach Saban are just mind-boggling. But the one that I think is the most amazing is, Alabama has been number one at some point in the season for 13 years in a row, and they got a lot coming back, so there's a very good chance that at some point this next season they'll be number one again.
Sure.
That'll be 14 years in a row. To give you an idea of how dominant that is, second place in that category is 6 or 7 years in a row. Miami had a run back in the 80s and 90s. But
all right, well, let me ask you this: if you had to start the season next week, Oklahoma would probably be the team that most people think would win. What do you think?
I think they probably got the best chance. Well, look, we know that opening ball game between Clemson and Georgia, one of them's going to drop out.
Yeah.
Right there. And I think there's an opportunity for both of those. One, Georgia has a chance to lose it on the sideline, but then I don't know Clemson how much talent they got coming back as far as championship is concerned.
They only had 5 players drafted. Only 5 players drafted. That surprised me about Clemson.
I heard the guy on Paul's show yesterday saying what Max just said, that Oklahoma was the pick to be number one next year. He pointed out that Clemson last year just did not have the usual elite talent and speed and athleticism they usually had, especially on defense. Yeah. And that caught up with them finally.
Well, don't really let me lose this train of thought, but on Troy radio, what's the dial on the Guru talk show? What's the name?
96.3?
Yeah.
94.7?
Yeah. All right, who's on 94.7?
Well, hey, you talking about Bomb?
Yeah,
he's
Bomb.
on 96.3.
A lot of people don't realize that Bomb comes on for 4 hours on that radio network.
I do.
But a lot of people just don't even know how to go to that.
When I go pick up my kids, I listen to Feinbaum.
It's 96.3.
96.3.
It's an affiliate with WTBF, yes.
I know, but it's 96.3. Mm-hmm. And and a lot of people say no. They don't even realize that they can get it on that.
But hey, let me ask y'all. Speaking of, Max might know this with his extensive radio background. Well, who's replaced Rush Limbaugh, or what is Cumulus, or whoever was syndicating him? What have they done with his time slot?
There's several young guys, Bill, coming up. I flipped over to a guy named Martin Kaye out of Jacksonville. He's a young guy, but he does his 3-hour show standing up, and he's enthusiastic. He's a ultra-conservative, and I really like him. He's reasonable. He takes calls. He's got about a billion-plus followers right now. He's on Facebook every day. He's an up-and-comer. If I had to guess, he's probably got the best shot to get the national show as far as what Rush left.
You've been in it a long time, Max, and you have made contact with a lot of people. Probably, in your career, who is some of the nicest people out there? I mean, truly nice people. I mean, I know it's hard to find. I know it's hard for you to find.
In fact, it's a challenging question. I'll be honest with you. The radio business is, like a lot of other industries.
Piranha.
It's got some. It's got its fair share of folks that doesn't handle themselves.
Feinbaum's not near as sweet as he acts, is he?
I can give you a couple examples of 2 of my ex-partners. One of them still in prison. So I'm just saying, it's not. That's a great question. I'd have to stop and think. All of us, we all got our flaws, Mike, and you know how this works.
Yeah.
You present one style and or one projection of what your lifestyle is on the radio. You may have a totally 190-degree difference when you walk away, when you flip the switch and turn it off. And I think that's where people maybe get a little concerned, about evaluate people's personality and, you know, they're really how good they are. If it's radio. I like the ones that have transitioned from radio to TV. That shows a lot more flexibility. You know, in their
like Feinbaum, do you think that's hurt Feinbaum, or do you think it's helped him?
No,
he's made millions of dollars.
He's made become a billionaire, Mike, but having that attitude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Feinbaum makes $5 million a year, does.
Oh, he does. Golly. But they say he's sure not as sweet as he sounds, so that he's not the sweet guy.
I met him at events before. I mean, he's a guy you can walk up and talk to. He's not like the.
Yeah,
at least he used to be that way.
Yeah, he doesn't present that arrogant attitude off the air.
Yeah,
he's very approachable. The last time I saw him was in Birmingham. I walked up to him and seen him a while, and he's sitting there drinking a cup of coffee with a couple of guys. He looked up at me and he said, "I thought you died about 3 years ago."
Yeah.
I mean, he's just off the cuff.
I tell you what, he's got a reputation, you know, about certain things, but being pretty is not one. You know, if you tell me that you got to be good looking, Feinbaum would be off the air.
Well, Max, you kind of made radio history in the Southeast. You did a call-in show in Birmingham with actually a female co-host. That was one of the first I'd ever heard at the time. How long did that last? A year?
As short as I could make it.
I know, but I mean, at the time, that was like really big news in sports radio that you were doing that.
It was. But you want me to tell you the real truth behind that?
Yeah.
That was a new station in Birmingham. It just opened up, and I was in Mobile at the time, and they hired me to come up. And they were saying, I can tell you two quick stories. One is that the general manager, the program director did not hire me. The general manager hired me, and then they hired the program director. And it's just like an FA director with a coach. That FA director wants his guy. The guy that was a program director was a music guy. He had nothing to do with talk or sports talk. And he did everything he could to get rid of me. They brought Rachel Barbo in as that, and that didn't work. She wasn't hard and tough enough to hang in there and take the barbs. So she evaporated. The next guy they tried to bring in was Cole Cubic, who's now...
Yeah, and he's big time now.
Yeah. And what happened to Cole, when they offered the contract, he was in Huntsville. He got so excited, went out and got drunk, got a speed ticket, and they canceled him.
Oh, gosh. Oh.
Before we got that, I ended up winning the ball just and hanging in there until they changed over to all music.
You know, they say...
That's when Rick and Bubba tried to do a sports station. Wasn't that were you affiliated with Rick and Bubba? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see them on TV much anymore, do you? Do they have to go back to radio?
They changed their format. It was all free for a while. The station that carried Rick and Bubba, you have to pay for it. You buy their time for the station. That's one of the few. They lost, I don't know, several hundred stations across the South when they went to that, but they maintained. I had a chance to talk to Bubba several times about that, and he said that it was a financial decision.
Yeah.
They've kind of built it back. They did that about 6 or 8 years ago. And they built it back. They've been on the air, 45 plus years now.
But are they on TV still, or are they just radio now?
You can probably pick them up on the internet.
Yeah, I'm sure that's probably the way it is, Michael. Maybe just the internet now.
How about Barbara Dooley? Did you ever have that fool with her?
Oh man, I used to have her on. She and I were really good friends, and I mean that's a character right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was funny.
She really was.
Of course, that's Vince Dooley's wife.
Don't ever let anybody think Vince did a great job both coaching and FA director. But he only did a great job when he was away from the house.
Yeah.
Don't ever think she didn't run that.
Yeah, I bet.
I promise you.
I bet.
Hey, Coach, how question for you on this imaging. See where Alabama announced yesterday they're going to create a program called The Advantage that's going to assist their players on imaging and all that. So each school is going to probably have to have a department or another entity that's going to have to help their athletes with this imaging thing that's in this self-promotion, social media, financial assistance. How's that going to? That's another.
That's a very interesting. I'll tell you what's going to happen, guys. Anytime something new, an innovative thing comes in, any market, almost in any industry, I'm seeing it right now in the industry I'm in. You're going to get a swoop in, a bunch of people up front. It's going to take a lot of money, and they're not going to be able to perform, and they'll weed themselves out. But I tell you what, guys, what happens in that, and you go back and check, a lot of people get hurt in that. We're going to see that. There's going to be some people make a lot of mistakes who hired, quote, experts in that field. They'll take money from the department to help create that, and then in 2 years they'll disappear.
Yeah.
And then who gets hurt is the key people they were trying to help, the athletes. So it'll be an evolution trying to find the right people. Some people will succeed. They'll get lucky and hire the right guy, the right people to run the organization. And it's no different from coaching or any other thing. You got some good ones that emerge to greatness, and then you got some good ones that'll fall by the wayside. They can't keep up.
All right. Now tell us a little bit about what you got cooking. Have you cooked out for anybody lately?
Well, I did on my birthday last night, Mike. I had my friends together. We had about 8 or 10, I guess. And you know what we did? My favorite was, I was asked that 100 times yesterday. My favorite meal, I did about an inch and a half ribeye. I got a marinade I love. It's just very simple. And I get the steaks at room temperature. I don't take them right out of the refrigerator. And I always have a few people that do medium to medium well. And, I put those on first. Mine, I'm a medium rare guy. And I've got 2 other guys eat the same way. So we did ribeyes, and I did baked potato and baked iced potato and baked sweet potato.
Oh boy, yeah.
We had a couple of different salads. Some of them that we brought. They know my favorite dessert. This time of year, I'm still in the key lime pie business.
Oh boy.
I have just come out of the heavy chocolate with what I call Mississippi Bud Pie.
Yeah.
That's a 3-layer chocolate with pecans and chocolate syrup between each layer. Come out of the oven warm and top it with a couple of scoops of vanilla ice cream.
Oh boy.
Gas grill or charcoal or wood?
No, I do either charcoal or wood. I don't do gas.
Okay.
Yeah. But I know it's good, man. I tell you.
Forget Florida. Let's go to Mississippi to the Howell plantation.
That's right. That's
to the
right.
Howell.
Well, you've gotten quite a reputation for all your cooking.
What's happened? Who is using Nelson's by the Lake building now?
Nobody.
Let's bring Max in and let's start a restaurant there.
Yeah. Yeah, have Max's, yeah.
You don't have. You can be the executive chef and just organize it all.
That facility out there is about to fall in.
You know where all that started? That started on when we were doing conference call. We pulled a segment out of Grandpa Jones off of Hee Haw. Hey guys, what's for supper? And that just spilled over. I've done that so many years now. I do it primarily for memory. But I've got boxes. I've written 2 cookbooks out of that, and I got one more I really want to do. I don't know if I'm going to probably die before I get it done. But it's just one of those things. That identity really has stayed. Yeah. I get asked that if I'm speaking somewhere, and I close the talk by asking for questions from the audience. First thing you want to know, hey, Max, what's for supper?
What's for dinner? Yeah.
I listen, Mike. I know where those Southern guys are.
Yeah.
They what's for dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we're not talking about that ice cold beverage that goes with it.
Well, that's the beverage of choice. We got anything from water to iced tea to anything else you might need.
Now you celebrated your 81st birthday, and what have you done different this year? Of course.
I've changed. We're building this national co-op right now. It's a national company. I've opened up 2 accounts. I opened up a South Dakota account This past week, I opened up an Ohio account with over 50 farmers in it. We're attacking the farmers in the hemp industry right now. All fiber. We just broke ground on a new facility over the Mississippi River. We've got a $25 million contract for biofuel already for that plant. We've got a couple more when we go up down the Mississippi River. We're anticipating a big contract for Beagle Barge, which is the largest barge company in the country that sends the barges up down the Mississippi River.
Boy, you have done well.
It's all carbon free. It's all the green. It's in the green industry. We've been able to access a good amount of grant money from the federal government. So, we're tickled to death with the way the business is growing. In fact, I'm leaving today. I'm going to leave you with this, guys. I met a guy. I was in Birmingham a week ago for my annual physical. Guy called me and said, I got a friend I want you to meet. Can you drive me to Central? It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday of last week. So I drive down there. We stop at O'Charlie's, just up there about 20. And the guy comes in and we sit there and talk. And this is about 4:30 in the afternoon. Well, I didn't leave till 8 to 8:30 that night. This guy was so interesting. Let me just quickly tell you about him. I'm meeting him down in Aliceville today at his company. His last farming, on the field farming, he farmed his farm from a helicopter. And I'll tell you why. He was in control of 250,000 acres.
Oh, wow. Oh, man.
If you don't know how long that is, that's 30 square miles.
Oh,
is that in Alabama?
Well, he grew corn and beans and cotton and hemp.
Yeah.
And where it was in the center of Africa.
Yeah.
He stayed there 18 years. Another company hired him away, took him to Venezuela, and he farmed 10,000 acres with nothing but hemp. Well, he's coming to the co-op with us now. I'm taking my contract today as a consultant.
Yeah.
He's got more experience worldwide than anybody I've ever talked to. Probably anybody else that's available right now in the country. So that's kind of where my job has been. I'm the on-the-ground guy. I'm enrolling new members of the co-op. But we got them in 9 states now.
Well, you're
that part of the business is going well.
That's right. Well, of course, we're lucky to get you to talk to us about your football, and with the season coming up. You know what, Max?
That was breaking news to me that O'Charlie's was still open. I didn't know they still had O'Charlie's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was slow. I'll be honest with you. We were about 4 or 5 people in there, I guess. We had a table full that night, but it was that guy.
Did you have to go to South Dakota?
No, not yet. We just got those guys in this past week.
Yeah.
I am going. I'm going in there. They have a short growing season, and I don't mind telling you the way we're going to handle that from a co-op situation. We've got contacts in Canada that we get our seed from, mainly because that's a different fiber seed that's on the market as far as genetics concerned. They have a growing season in South Dakota, but only about 55 or 60 days.
Yeah.
Well, so the seed we use down here is 90 to 120 day growing season.
Yeah.
So it's a whole new, it's a THC-free hemp seed. Yeah. Nothing to do with anything to do with the oil business or the marijuana side. It's all fiber. But I will tell you this, the people that joined the co-op was a corporation, and they live in just outside Fayetteville, Arkansas. And I'll tell you where the money came from. They farmed 1,900 acres in South Dakota. I believe you might recognize the name. The company that they just retired from was Walmart.
Yeah.
They were some of the first general managers of Walmart 25, 30 years ago.
Well, Max,
they got tons of money, and we took it to death to help with us.
Well, Max, we appreciate you calling in today, and of course, again, happy birthday, and we appreciate you very much. We'll look forward to hearing from you soon.
Yeah, and I'll be hopefully be back on radio with you guys. And Mike, I'm glad you're back on the air. You're sounding great.
Thank you. Appreciate it, bud.
See you, Max.
Of course, tell us about it, Forrest, what we got going on.
Let's see, Mike.
Pike Liberal Arts Baseball is the big
It's
one
today.
big thing, yeah. Well, is that going to be broadcast on radio? Or do you know?
It's going to be on TV.
I heard that WTBF is
I wonder who's doing the broadcast.
I'm not sure.
Probably Bradford, maybe.
Yeah, but that'll
That's great.
That'll be today in Selma at Morgan Academy. First pitch at 4 o'clock. These
that will be
tournaments
televised. Is
it's
that
going
right?
to be televised
All right,
on Troy Cable. These games will resume today. George W. Long, Zion Chapel, Elba, and Ayrton in softball, along with Luverne, Highland Home, and Calhoun. That's today. Finishing those tournaments, and we'll talk about those others tomorrow. Goshen plays tomorrow. Pike County plays tomorrow in their tournaments.
Of course,
and baseball now, we hadn't talked baseball, high school baseball.
Yeah, go ahead.
With public schools. Brantley at Kinston this Thursday. Shelby County's at Pike Road this Thursday with Coach Ponder. And on Friday, Ayrton's going to host Cottonwood. Long will be at Ranburn. Ott will host Bayside, and Dothan will be at Central Phoenix City. So it's a big, big week of softball and baseball.
Boy, it is, and I hope you'll go out and, if you can, give them some support.
Well, the last time Pike and Morgan Academy played in baseball, it was a classic 3-game series.
Yeah, we don't have time to talk about it today. Really interesting story coming out about a premier golf league. A lot of billionaires out of Saudi Arabia are trying to get the big-time golfers to leave the PGA Tour and join the Premier Golf League. They're going to offer Dustin Johnson, Bruce Koepka, Justin Rose, Phil Mickelson, Adam Scott, and Bryson DeChambeau $30 million each to leave the PGA Tour.
Oh, boy.
To join the Premier Golf Tour. Of course, they have unlimited amount of money. It's a bunch of rich old billionaires out of Saudi Arabia.
Will that be around the world, those tournaments, or will it just be?
Yeah, they would play all over the world, but they would also recruit other players that are active on the PGA Tour and actually be team captains of those teams. So you'd have 5 guys playing on each team, and they play in all these tournaments all over the world.
Boy, I tell you, if y'all had any Goldfinger's chicken lately, that is wonderful, wonderful chicken at Goldfinger's. Right there in the shopping center right
there by Publix.
That's right, Publix shopping center, right down from it, and it's delicious. All right, Rice, what do you got to say, bud, on this Wednesday?
I meant to talk about it. Your friend Warren Henchy sent me an interesting email that everybody remember how close we were to college football being canceled?
Yeah.
If the Big 12 would have said no go, that probably would have done it, because the Pac-12 and the Big 10 said we're not playing, and then the Oklahoma League said we will. One guy in their health panel said, the big concern back then was myocarditis, a heart condition for athletes might have, and one guy said, these studies aren't persuasive that say these kids have any heart risk. Well, Warren Henchy sent me a email that says there's now been a 4-month study of college athletes that addressed whether there was any risk from heart conditions from playing sports. 0. There were no, and of 19,000 athletes studied, not one of them had any kind of heart condition related to playing sports.
They're probably going to be. Go ahead.
So thank goodness that that one person in the Big 12 said, "Let's keep playing, or else we might not have had football."
How many times has those nasal passages got swabbed? Just take Alabama. One player.
3 or 4 times a week.
Golly.
Yeah, I know it a bunch. They went through a lot.
I've had it 2 or 3 times. And it
Hope you've enjoyed our show today. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's laid-back television at its very best. And, of course, we hope that you enjoy it, and you will be with us again tomorrow, bright and early, for Today in L.A.
Have a good day, Michael.
This is my chart from Southeast Health.
And you're going to want to make it yours. Not because it's free,
but because it's priceless. Because with my chart, you can schedule appointments online with your provider.
You can email your provider and get answers.
Have a virtual visit.
Get test results.
Refill prescriptions.
And manage your family's health care. You know how we all want health care to be easier?
But no one seems to listen? Well,